And at that point, as written in the torch, Jim Cornette is inside the ring and he introduces Jeff Jarrett, who got a good pop. Jarrett comes out with the NWA National Championship, and the torch would say, I thought I was hallucinating seeing Jeff Jarrett walking to the ring with the title in the asylum in Nashville. Cornette said he's known Jeff since he was 12 and asked what it's been like to see the reemergence of the NWA. Jarrett asked the fans to give Cornette a big applause, and they did. Cornette said if it wasn't for the Jarrett family, he wouldn't be here. He asked the fans to give Jarrett an ovation. And Jarrett said he first watched his first wrestling match in this building. He said to be a part of the 70th anniversary of the NWA meant a lot to him and his family. He told the fans that he'd grown up with them and they're his family. And Jarrett said that we're both fans, and that's the reason we got in the business. And Jarrett said they have 2 matches left. He said they have the rematch of the year with Cody defending the 10 pounds of gold tonight. Said it gives him chills to hold the NWA National Championship. He talked about winning the Intercontinental Championship in the WWE and the U.S. Championship in WCW. And he said the National Championship is a launching pad to the 10 pounds of gold. And he called out Magnum TA, who's going to present the title to the new champion. This is a pretty cool skit, man. And I'm sure you loved working with Cornette. My only wish is we could have found a way to involve him in your Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match. I think y'all would have had a great time on that one.
Just give it a little time. We're going to have, I've got some title defenses coming up, and I think it would be best to recruit him as maybe special enforcer. And a special enforcer in that kind of match, as opposed to keeping gimmicks out, you keep gimmicks in. So you never know what he'll bring. I know he's always been a big fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. And I'm looking forward to him, cheering me on from afar. Like you said, if it wouldn't be for the Jarretts, he wouldn't be in the business. So I'm just tickled to death that he supports myself and Leatherface and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Deathmatch Championship.
Listen, we're having fun with this, of course, but I'm sure you had a blast working with Cornette. Oh, was it fun to see Cornette in show mode again? I mean, because he wasn't a regular fixture in the wrestling space at that point yet either.
Oh.
I mean, he had sort of, played hokey pokey a little bit with Impact, and is he going to do some stuff? Is he not? But he was starting to kind of wind down his travel and his in-ring performances and just being around the business. I think he liked just being hunkered down at Castle Cornette or whatever he calls his lovely home there in Louisville. But for him to be all fired up in show day had to make you remember the good old days, right?
I mean, he came and did a Music City Bowl wrestling show one year, and Jimmy is, handsome Jimmy Valiant. I don't want to call an old timer, but Jimmy, it doesn't take him long to flip the switch to get into mode. I mean, he's just a flip of a switch away. And so when you look, he's a historian. When you see him on Evan, the dark sides and the historical content, and Jimmy knows it candidly as well or better than 99.9%, because he is a performer and he's just got a different point of view on a lot of it. Not just an historian who's read and studied and wrote about it for many, many years. Jim lived a lot of history with NWA, starting from taking pictures of the NWA champion coming into town or him traveling. And then obviously the Watts and the Crockett's and that whole run. And so for him to get up in the ring in Nashville on the NWA 70th anniversary, it checked probably quite a few boxes for Jimmy. And he had a good time delivering his skills like only Coney can do.